Hey y'all, it's Jacqueline at Pixie Dust PhD. I wanted to do this additional sort of stats or analytics video for year 4 of the channel where we're looking at top content. Specifically, we will be focused on views, but we will also touch on watch hours as well as revenue for year 4 of the channel as well as lifetime. If you're looking for the standard stats and analytics that I do for the month, year, and lifetime of the channel, check out the month 48 creator update. But that video was already getting a little long, so I didn't want to integrate this additional sort of deep dive look at content into there, so now we've got a standalone video. In terms of the reference period, year 4 will be from February of 2023 through February of 2024. Then lifetime of the channel is just the whole time I've been posting, which starts February 10th, 2020, and then I cut it off February 10th, 2024. We'll start by looking at the top content by views, and this is all content, so videos and shorts. Looking at top content by views in year 4, so this is the content that racked up the most amount of views in year 4, not necessarily from being posted in year 4. And here we have a good mix of topics. I mean, it is obviously dominated by DVC and Disney World, but that's also what I post about the most. And notably in this top 10, 6 of these entries are shorts, so only 4 proper videos. And of those 4 videos, 2 of those are room tours. The other 2 proper videos that made this top 10 were the original Disability Access Services video, and then the December Cabins at Fort Wilderness video, so that's the one where we first got introduced officially to the cabins by Disney Vacation Club. That's not the video with the sale date or the official points charts or the incentives or sale price or annual dues. 9 of these 10 videos were posted in year 4. The only video that wasn't was the Disability Access Service video. On the one hand, I think it's good and encouraging that content that I'm currently posting is racking up views near-ish to when it posts. On the other hand, you do always also want to have some evergreen content, things that you can post that people will still continue to reference and watch and will still continue to get views and gain watch hours and new subscribers for your channel over time. So I think ideally maybe I would have liked to see this be a little bit more balanced, but I'm not mad about this at all. If it was going to lean one way or the other, I guess I'm more happy that the newer content is getting views. If I was posting a bunch of new content, but people were only watching the old content, I would probably be worried about what is it I'm doing now that nobody likes? Now looking at top content by views for lifetime of the channel, the picture is a little bit different. This time there are only 3 shorts that made it. However, this is not entirely surprising to me because I haven't been posting shorts consistently across the lifetime of the channel, so it's not the most fair comparison comparing lifetime views to year 4 views when you're integrating shorts. And again, we have a decent mix of topics, but definitely dominated by Walt Disney World and Disney Vacation Club. Only 3 of these videos were posted this year, and 2 of those are shorts. So really the only proper video I posted in year 4 that has cracked the top 10 lifetime content by views is that initial Cabins at Fort Wilderness announcement. But as I mentioned, including shorts in this muddies the picture a little bit, so let's look at top content by views, but narrow it into videos only. Looking at only the year 4 period, here are the top videos by views. I've cut it off sort of arbitrarily at 1,000 views. Again, a lot of Walt Disney World and DVC content in this list, but definitely heavy on the Disney Vacation Club. Interestingly to me, 2 of the 7-month availability videos made this list. I definitely have a tug of war in my mind about making those, because it's not very fun to make, but obviously it serves a good need. The other thing is you make them, you upload them, and then they're only relevant for a couple months probably. I should go back to the individual videos and look at the views over time, but in my head, it's just not evergreen content. It's something that is relevant for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's not relevant anymore. I often get asked, when is the next 7-month availability video getting posted? And the true answer is, it is just super dependent on my time. In my opinion, those need to be filmed and posted in a very timely manner. Typically, I would want to film on Saturday or Sunday, edit it, upload it, correct all the captions, and then have it post by Wednesday. Therefore, it just really depends on what's going on in my personal life over the weekend, as well as with my job constraints, if I will reasonably be able to meet that deadline. And lately, that answer has just been no. These videos very much are on my radar, and I think looking at the top content for year 4 reinforces that this is a value add for people who want to watch this type of content. And I'll do my best to try to get back on it, but I really just can't make any promises. Officially, 9 of these videos were posted within year 4. There is that one 7-month availability video that was just technically outside of the early period. It got posted in January, but obviously it racked up all of its views during year 4, so basically counts. I'm not at all surprised to see the Disability Access Service video still do well. I am a little bit surprised that the follow-up video I made to it does not seem to be gaining any traction. But at least people are finding the content, and honestly with that video in particular, I hope it's helping people. I was pretty surprised to see the Old Key West versus Saratoga Springs head-to-head matchup on here, and delighted. I hope people are also finding that one useful. Further down the list, back in November of 2020, I did post that sort of behind the scenes of the member portal login for Disney Vacation Club. That's still racking up views, and I'm really pleased about that because it took a ton of work to put together. There's so much personally identifiable information when you're going through those pages that I had to manually like go through literally sometimes frame by frame to like block out certain things. But that to me is like a prime evergreen video where maybe the interface has changed a tiny bit, but a vast majority of what you would need to know as a potential DVC buyer is included in there if you just like want to know what the user interface will be like. The Villas at Disneyland Hotel content did fairly well. It didn't explode, but I think, I worked really hard to pump out a bunch of content real fast, and that seemingly paid off. Happily for me, the Transit to Disneyland Paris video is doing well. I think I have a lot of transit anxiety, particularly in a foreign country, so being able to explain that to people makes me feel super good. And there's 3 room tours in the top half of this or so, which is great validation of taking them 20 or 30 minutes, whatever it is, to film a room tour is worth it. And that being said, just because it's the top content by views doesn't always mean it racks up those watch hours. Here I've circled the 4 videos that haven't even hit 100 watch hours. And while the room tours are pretty fun to film and fairly straightforward and easy to edit, maybe it's not paying off the most. Yes, they're getting well over 1,000 views, but can't even hit 100 watch hours. That's a little bit disappointing. That being said, maybe people just start watching and then decide that they're not interested in that location because the Bay Lake Tower room tour video did plenty well in terms of both views and watch hours. Next, let's look at the top videos lifetime of the channel sorted by views. Here, I've just arbitrarily pulled the top 15. I do think there were a few more videos with over 2,000 views lifetime, but, for the sake of fitting on the screen, we went with 15. Again, you're seeing a lot of Walt Disney World and DVC content, though it does feel slightly less slanted to DVC than the year 4 top videos by views. Interestingly, only 3 of these videos were posted in year 4. That's 2 room tours for my January 2023 trip, and then again, the Cabins at Fort Wilderness introductory video. It's good to see anything that I posted in the past year crack into the lifetime top content, given that Lifetime is now 4 full years of content. So most of the videos on this list have had way longer time to rack up views. And this is also a clear signal to me that, again, room tours are definitely worth it if you are trying to get a lot of views. However, of course, unfortunately, I think all of us creators are limited on doing room tours based on when we will be staying in those hotels, and, that's not happening for me anytime soon. But there will be a few room tours from my October 2023 trip coming to the channel. And I did just want to briefly point out that the top 2 videos by views are also killing it in watch hours. One is over 1,000 hours and one is getting very close. No other video on this list even eclipses 600 hours, much less 750 hours or 900 hours. So yeah, we really have like a top 2 that stand on their own, and then everything else, I think. Next, let's go ahead and do a little bit more of a deep dive in terms of revenue. While the reference periods for year 4 and Lifetime stay the same, it is worth noting that I wasn't monetized until October of 2022. So the Lifetime stat is year 4 plus another half year or so. These are the top 10 videos by revenue production for year 4 of the channel. Again, this is not necessarily posted in year 4, this is revenue gained in year 4. And just due to the nature of the stat, it being revenue, it will only be video content. We are not going to get any shorts being pulled into this, so I didn't have to sort the shorts out manually. 3 videos here amassed over $20 in year 4. We've got the Disability Access Service video, the Cabins introductory video, and then a room tour. And as we've seen in pretty much every other stat in this video, this list does lean very heavily toward Disney World and Disney Vacation Club. All but 3 of these videos were posted this year, and then the ones that weren't posted were Disability Access Service video again, as well as some older Disney Vacation Club content. It is nice to see that some of the older DVC content is evergreen, and yes, it's still producing views, and now that means it's producing revenue. Moving on to Lifetime top 10 revenue producers, we've got a few more room tours in this list. And you can see that the Disability Access Service video really is a standout. Nothing else comes even close to the amount of revenue that it has produced. In fact, number 2 on this list is still less than half the amount of revenue produced by the Disability Access Service video. Pretty mind-boggling. It's wild to see that when the algorithm picks up a video on your channel, it really works compared to everything else on the channel that doesn't get picked up by the algorithm. Half of this list was posted this year, so the other half is more evergreen, older content. If you had asked me what my top revenue producers were, I definitely would say the Disability Access Service video, but I don't think that I would have gotten very many on this list correct. Again, I'm really surprised about the Old Key West versus Saratoga Springs head-to-head matchup video making this list, as well as a 7-month availability video making this list. I may have guessed that some room tours would make this list just because I do know that they get a lot of views, but the amount of room tours I do find surprising. And I'm very pleased to see the 2024 Disney Dining Plan math video on this list. When I posted it, I felt like it didn't do all that well, but maybe it's just had a slower burn. Then just briefly comparing the top 10 revenue producers from year 4 to Lifetime, you can see the overlap. The top 3 are all the same, just in a slightly different order. Then on the Lifetime list, entries 4 through 7 are all reflected in the year 4 list, but just slightly different ordering. This means there are 3 videos that are not reflected in both lists. In the year 4 list, we have a 7-month availability video that I believe was for December or so of 2023, and then 2 from the video series on Villas at Disneyland Hotel. For lifetime 3 videos we don't see reflected in the year 4 list are 2 room tours as well as a 7-month availability video, but just not the same one. That was kind of the deep dive I wanted to do and take a look at. It really was enlightening for me. I hope it was interesting for you, but I do have a couple final notes. First, in the monthly creator updates, I often reflect on the shorts bringing in views, but not much more than that. Here's a look at the lifetime views and watch hours broken out by shorts and videos. Honestly, the shorts have been amazing for views, considering that the shorts I'm posting I don't consider terribly high quality. A lot of them are just sort of like background footage of me walking around the parks that I can find and like pulling a clip from that. But people like the vibes, I guess, you know? So yeah, they're getting a lot of views. Lifetime for the channel, shorts now make up almost 40% of the views. But that 40% of views only equates to 2.5% of the watch hours. So yes, I think shorts are fun. They help with the view stats a ton. I'm sure that it is helping me reach a wider audience, but in terms of watch hours, doesn't really do much. I have been toying with the idea of trying to make a more substantive series of shorts that maybe would get more watch hours. So something like DVC 101, but broken up into shorts, and then I could link those out to the proper videos on the channel if people want an actual deep dive. That's not a promise though, it's just something I have been thinking about. I haven't filmed anything, I haven't scripted anything. If you have strong thoughts, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, I just wanted to show this because when I saw it, it really solidified the sort of weak opinion I've had in the monthly creator updates that like shorts aren't doing much for watch hours. It's very true, the shorts aren't doing much for watch hours, and that is why I put a lot more of my energy into the proper videos on the channel. And also YouTube has a way of calculating videos that grow your audience. So people who watch a video and then come back to watch other content, I think within a 90-day period. And I've never reported on this before because literally every time I've looked at it, which is every month, this is like a standard stat that they show you. So when I'm going through and collecting stats for the monthly creator updates, I see this every month. It is low. Every single video is low. I don't know if that's just because my channel is so small that I'm not reaching a threshold for them to say anything but low. Because if you click an individual video, it will say it got this many viewers and this many came back to the channel. And like that number is more than 0 or more than 10, you know what I mean? So this is tricky. I don't really know how to interpret it. I try not to get bummed out about it, but if any of you are creators and have insights on how to turn any of these from low to anything else, any other category, I don't even know what's past low, I would super appreciate it. But yeah, this particular stat of new viewers who then return to my channel has always been such a struggle for me. And I really don't know what to do about it. So this is a very trusted space for me. If you have ideas, if you want to pitch me content or whatever, if you think there are things that will help me be more successful, I would love to hear about it. Thanks for coming on this more niche deep dive. And if you have any questions, leave those in the comments down below. Plus, if there are any other stats you're interested in seeing, leave a comment and let me know. I'll definitely get back to you. And if you are a small creator on your own, I love these types of like behind the scene videos. That's the part of YouTube I'm most interested in these days, is seeing like what other smaller creators are going through. So if you do anything like this, leave a link down below and I'll definitely watch your content and engage. Otherwise, I just wanted to say thanks to all of you for a strong year 4. Lots of views, lots of fun and somewhat unexpected videos at times in the top content. And that is truly all thanks to you. I really appreciate your support. I hope the rest of your day is magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.